Hey you guys, welcome back to the fourth review of my 2019 Inktober's. If you haven't already seen the first 3 videos, I will link them below for you to check out. And please follow me on Instagram if you'd like to keep up with my Inktober's on a daily basis. Today's review is going to cover days 20 through 26, and as mentioned before, my last days of Inktober are going to be reviewed in my studio vlog, which should be up next week. So please check that out if you'd like to see the rest of the month. For now, let's go ahead and get into the review. Okay, so starting with day 20, the word was tread. I had a little bit of a difficult time coming up with a visual for this one, but eventually I thought about treading as in walking in a certain way, and then that made me think about like walking in line, which then led to a mother duck with her baby ducks. So that's what we have here. The little wonky one that's right behind the mom was actually an accident, and my boyfriend encouraged me to basically embrace my mistakes. So I kind of emphasized the smudge on his eyes to kind of make him look a little spooky. He might end up being my favorite part of this piece just because I think it looks hilarious. But I'm actually really happy with how the mom came out. I think I did a pretty good job conveying the pattern on her feathers, and the other little ducklings look pretty cute. So this was a relatively simple one for this day, and I'm pretty pleased with it. Day number 21, the word was treasure, and originally I was going to go with like an octopus with a treasure chest and that sort of thing, but then I don't know how I ended up with this visual, but I thought about how some animals hoard like random items, and like that's their little treasure. So I did a squirrel like hiding his little treasure inside of a hole in a tree, and I'm really happy with how this came out. I think it looks hilarious and still kind of adorable. I tried to make the heap sort of a generalized cluster of random things and acorns and that sort of thing, with just a few random pieces that you can distinctly see, like the watch and the crayon, and the squirrel just kind of like protecting it. I think it looks really funny, and other people seem to like it as well, so I'm happy with how this one turned out. For day number 22, the prompt was ghost, and I went with an albino bat. I feel like bats have a really spooky association, and I thought it would be a nice play on ghost because people kind of associate ghost with being eerie and spooky, and I just kind of thought that it would like match that energy. So again, very simple, just the bat hanging upside down, and I decided to put in the extra little details in the background just to give it a little bit more interest. Simple and effective in my opinion. For day number 23, the prompt was ancient, and there was a lot of animals I could go with that are associated with their old age, but I just ended up going to Google and looking up like a list of oldest living animals, and one that stood out to me once I saw it, because then I remembered, was the Greenland shark. This is a very simple one that's borderline a reference piece, but this was a day that I kind of needed the simplicity. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as close to a Greenland shark as I would hope, but I still think that it came out really well. You can generally tell like it's a shark, so I think once I explain like it's a Greenland shark and they can live up to 400 years, and I'm actually really happy with the aesthetic of it. I like the texture that I was able to achieve with the washes on his body, and I also was playing around a little bit with the texture of the seafloor that I put there, just putting in some abstract line work there to sort of break up that area and give it a little bit more dimension, and I think it looks really interesting. So for day number 24, the word was dizzy. Originally when I was trying to search for ideas, I looked up animals that spin, and then I just got like a bunch of spiders in the Google search, and I am arachnophobic, so changed that. And so then I started thinking about, okay, what type of visuals do I get when I think of the word dizzy? So then I thought about the white and black spiral that you sometimes see for like hypnotizing and that sort of thing. So that made me think about this very specific snake that my friend had as a pet, and it's a California king snake, and they are black and white and striped, and I was like, oh, that looks so cool, just like a California king snake all coiled up, and then the dizziness of the pattern making those rings. So that's all this is. Again, a very simple piece, but I think that it's effective, and I really like the way his head kind of hides amongst himself, and then you notice it and you're like, oh, it's a snake. But I actually really like this piece, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Day number 25, the word was tasty. And I had a difficult time coming up with something for this because the last thing I wanted to do was like the types of animals that we eat, you know, like I didn't want to do chicken or like a cow or something like that. It just didn't feel right. So I was trying to think of some animals and like them eating something, but then all I could think was like carnivores, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to like draw a visual of like a lion like chowing down, you know? So then I started trying to think of herbivores or animals that eat fruit, and originally I was thinking, oh, like a bat eating a mango, because I've seen that visual before. But then while I was searching for images for a different prompt, I saw a panda, and then I was like, duh, a panda eating bamboo. That's all they do is just eat. So that's all this is. Panda chowing down on some bamboo. I had a lot of fun breaking up the background with the different layers of bamboo, and I thought that the panda looked really funny and cute. I kind of made him look a bit like an animatronic instead of like an actual panda, but I sort of like that visual. So this was a little bit more of a complicated piece in that I had a lot of variations in wash, and then also the panda itself was pretty starkly black and white, but I really wanted to maintain that visual because it helps him stand out amongst the rest of what's going on in the background. So really happy with how this piece turned out, and probably one of my favorites for this whole month. And then lastly, for day number 26, the word was dark, and my brain immediately went to the deep sea. And so here we just have an anglerfish with their glowing thing. I don't know what it's called, but this is one that I decided to do in a very stylized way. I really like the different variations of anglerfish that I've seen illustrated, and I wanted to just have at it and just make something that looked cool to me. So this is again a very simple piece, but I think that it's very effective and conveys the prompt exactly how I was hoping. So that's it for today, guys. I thank you so much for watching this review. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Just a reminder to you all that my fall sale in my shop is still going on, and it will be ending at midnight on Halloween. So please go ahead and get your orders in. As most of you know, I'll be in Japan the last week of October. So if you placed an order during that time, just know that I'll be shipping it out to you the following week, and I appreciate your patience for that. But yes, 25% off of everything in my store with code FALLMOON, and I'll be sure to link that information in the description for you guys as well. Be sure to tune in to my studio vlog next week for the last days of Inktober, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.